I browsed the whole internet and found the most unique, useful, and most importantly, free plugins. I've tested more than 100 of them and picked out only the ones that are unique, useful, and that produce a high quality sound. I skipped all the plugins that are boring, poorly designed, and sounded low quality, focusing only on those with a premium feel. Number 1, Ghost Radio by Quilcom. This is a goofy looking plugin that will make your sounds sound as if they're coming out of a ghost radio. You will be able to talk with your ancestors and dead people. And hold on a second. Am I receiving a message?
Excuse me, bro, this is your grand. I'm calling through this radio because I'm just starving to death, and I need a little $5.
Okay.
I promise I will not use it this time for alcohol or cigarettes.
Fine. It's only $5. I don't mind that. How do I give them to you?
Just leave them on the kitchen table. We'll be fine. I'll just get them.
Okay, I'll do that now.
500 cigarettes.
Okay, I don't know what just happened, but that's fine. So you can run any sound through it and you have a bunch of the different features. If you don't enable the spirit, you'll not be able to hear anything. If you move, there's a ghost head appearing here, controlling that.
I'm right behind you. Come back.
And it adds some weird like ghost like effects to the sound. And this is the most interesting knob here.
I'm right behind you. Come back. Let me first have some fun with you.
You can also run this without any sound. It simply produces this type of sound and you can use still tuning. Number 2, we have Meyer Choir by Somerville Sounds. This is a very interesting plugin because a creator of this choir used their family, asked them politely if they want to participate in the creation of this plugin, and they recorded a choir. So you can see all the people right here: Luke, the youngest, Austin, Sandy, and John. And all of them are singing here, and it creates an insanely natural and alive sounding choir that you mostly don't get with other plugins. You can decide which of the family members you want in the choir to be playing. So I have Austin only, or Luke. And you have the effects to make it sound more like a choir, not so mono. You have also some different presets. Oh. Only boys. You have the ADSR here, so you can also make it staccato. Number 3, Pitchmunk by Vox Samples. This is a pitch shifter that potentially could be an alternative to a little altar boy by Sound Toys. It allows you to pitch things and also do some formant shifting, and it is very clean when it comes to pitch shifting. Formants are okay, not the cleanest, but the pitch shifting is super clean. And you can modulate those, creating these types of formant shifts. But what differentiates this plugin from other plugins is that the pitch shifting is very clean. You can even put it on the master and you can shift the whole song. And it doesn't leave these grainy sounds. Like for example, Killheart's pitch shifter. For generating some ideas, you can put it on the whole master and shift the whole song, and it can spark some new ideas.
I will murder these sons of bitches.
Number 4, Visco. So what it is a very interesting sound morphing tool that allows you to morph between two different sounds with some controls. So you upload two different sounds into it. On one side you have a simple kick, and on the other side you have a huge kick, and you can morph between them and create unique samples. But what's interesting about this is that you can literally just shape whatever this blob is in any way that you want by moving it. and you're gonna get goofy ass sounds like this. What's the coolest thing about it is you can upload your own sounds. Let's take a sound like this. It's already kind of messed up. With an initial sound like this, you can do a bunch of things. This one must be the goofiest. The contrast makes it more liquidish. And then you can transform between two different sounds. And you gotta experiment a little bit to find the exact sound that's gonna morph nicely with this one. Let's see that laser. Oh. Oh. You can, let's say, use an LFO to modulate the time scale. Number 5, the Masker by Cinemystics. This is a plugin that is kind of like the track spacer and kind of like Soothe in terms of the sidechaining option. And it is designed to make two elements that are colliding to make them not collide. And it helps with mixing a lot. You simply put it on a melodics group. And then you have vocal on top. And these two elements are clashing together. What you do is you put the masker on the melodics group. As a sidechain input, you set the vocal track, and then the masker is going to carve the space in this melodic group for the vocal. It's going to carve exactly the frequencies of the vocal. So the yellow is the vocal, and we're gonna carve a space for it inside of this melodics group by going to the mask frequencies, go to bury. As you can see, it's starting to carve those frequencies out. You can increase the intensity. Without and with. There's way more space for the vocal now inside of that melodics track. While previously it was simply clashing and it didn't sound good. You can combine any two sounds together to get that type of masking. Number 6, Sonobus by Sonosaurus. This plugin allows you to stream the sound coming into it onto other instances of Sonobus. So for example, you can connect it, you can create a private group, give it a name, connect the group, and then I can open the same Sonobus app on my phone, send the link to myself, open the link, and now I'm connected and I can play back the whole song really, and I'm gonna hear this on the phone. And what's cool about this is that the playback is very quick, and you can stream it directly to your phone, and you can preview how the song is gonna sound like without having to export it and move it to your phone. And you can also do the reverse. Like this, and I can use my phone for that. Number 7, Transpire by Sonic Anomaly. This is a transient shaper, but it's unlike any other transient shaper because it is very precise. So we have 4 different controls. The first one is attack. You can boost the transients and make them snappy. Or you can fade them. Smooth the whole thing out. You can boost the tails and make the sound squashed. There's not much in the sound that can be boosted here though, but you can make it snappier. And if you combine it with the transient, you can make it super snappy. And then you can adjust the reaction time of this. Make it super snappy. Or slow it down a little. And if you want things to be faded, then you go this way and squashed. You're gonna be able to hear the sustain in this one. Very squashed. Number 8, S-Doubler by Soldier Sound. This is a plugin that makes your sounds wider, it doubles them and it spreads them up to 4 voices.
I saw your face right in front of me. I saw your face right in front of me. Your warmest smile that I couldn't keep. But was it all a little dream?
I like it because it has a very nice sound. Like very tight but still chorusy. You can make it more mono, but then you can spread it. You can adjust the frequency range. And that's a very simple plugin. Number 9, Refire by Outobugi. Generally speaking, if you know the Nook plugin, this is a free ripoff that, generally speaking, does the same. It's designed to process drums mainly. You have the heat module. That is a distortion module with 3 different distortion types. You can add sub to the sound with certain decay length, make it also tuned. Make the kicks more boomy, add more details by enhancing the high end. And you can change the tone to brighter or darker. Also you can layer noise. And then you can use a clipper, whether it's a soft one or a hard one, to chop off those peaks. And make it even more saturated and heavy. Not too much. And you can make it super heavy. And also you can do this, which is sort of like a transient shaper, but it's more of like a gate. We can add some extra width, and this is before and after. Number 10, Prism by Tokyo Dawn Records. This is a new plugin that allows you to preview a frequency spectrum of any sound or a song, and the unique thing about it is the way it looks.
I'll murder these sons of bitches.
It just looks amazing. So you can go in here into the legend here, and you can specify what inputs you want to see. So one of them is set to peak, one is fast, another is slow. You can go in here, set a color any that you want. Let's say cold spectrum and an X-ray. Oh yeah, and it looks totally amazing. You can add another one that's going to have a slow response time, or even infinite, and then set it maybe to, again, X-ray, and then let's say, but warm.
These sons of bitches.
So you can now see this collected volumes. And then you can click and you can measure if you want to. The thing that I really like about this plugin is just the way it looks, and just seeing their frequencies. It's not really about measuring. You can upload a song in here, and what you're gonna see is like a sum of those. Have peak or RMS, you can choose those different things. You can see different like fill, line. You can have an input and you can compare it.
These sons of bitches.
Oh! Number 11, Ozone 11 Equalizer by Native Instruments. This is a free EQ. If you're looking for an alternative to just a stock EQ that you have, you can get this one. Why would you get another EQ if you just have an EQ in your DAW? Some EQs, just by the way they look, they can alter the way you process the sounds, the way you EQ them. Not necessarily because the EQ is doing some magic, but because it simply looks a certain way. And if you get an EQ with a pretty interface, it's gonna affect how you EQ the sound, and it may help you or it may not help you. Ozone Equalizer has a pretty nice interface too, but there's one thing that you gotta change before you start EQing, which is you go to Spectrum, change the window size to like 1K, let's say, or 512. Yeah. For me, it looks better and it is more satisfying for me to EQ while having that type of resolution. If I go high, yeah, you get a lot of details, but the EQing experience is not that great. So I just like to go low, and then, you know, Number 12, ZL Equalizer by ZL Audio. This is another EQ, but it is a dynamic EQ. So it's a free alternative to, for example, TDR Nova, which has also a dynamic EQ, but just has only a few of the peaks. This one, you can have many more peaks. That's how many peaks you can have. Way better than TDR Nova. Identify what frequency is causing the trouble. Definitely here. And then you enable the dynamic EQ, and it's already working. Very muddy here, right? And it reacts to the audio. You can adjust all the standard parameters of a compressor. You can make it very goofy like this. Add another one here. Before and after. You get a cleaner sound, less muddy. So of course you can use it just as a standard EQ if you want to, but again, for me the EQing experience is not as cool. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Hope this was useful. This was the 2024 edition of free plugins. I'll see you next year. Until then, Take care. This video has been brought to you by Oversampled.us, premium sample and preset packs. Sound selection is very important, and we always aim at creating the highest quality sounds possible to help you make professional songs in as easy as drag and drop way with no extra processing needed. We're offering sounds in many different genres. Our most loved packs are the Ultimate Future Bass Toolkit, Cyberpack, Polychrome, and Super Heavy Drums. If you want to sound like your favorite artists, we have packs like Volcano, Castles, Portify, and Resurrection. And if you're in need of quality drums for your songs, don't look any further than our Super Heavy collection with over 2,800 samples in total if purchased in a bundle that will cover all your drum needs. Our most recent pack is sound enhancers, including lots of ear candies, fillers, layers, and more, all to make your songs more interesting. Visit oversampled.us and get sounds that'll make you a better producer.